Vasishta continued, he who sees the self as a transcendent being, or as the immanent being, as the self of all, is established in equanimity. Transcendence and immanence are the two characteristics of the Supreme Deity which are often debated in the religions that arose from the Middle East. Is God transcendent in the sense that he's got nothing to do with his creation, or is he immanent? Is he central to our own being? In the teachings of self-enquiry, we find that both these terms apply. You transcend all notions of a world out there. You realize the illusory nature of the world out there, and its pull, the pull of the attention in the direction of the world out there disappears. And it's immanent in the sense that the transcendental self is our immanent being, is our essential being. And realizing this leads us to a state of equanimity. He in whom likes and dislikes have ceased, to whom all beings are the same, and who perceives the world in the wakeful state as if he perceives objects in a dream, he is established in equanimity and lives in a forest even while living in a village. So the forest is the traditional abode of the sage who wants to be free from worldly distractions. But if you're in this equanimity, it doesn't matter where you are. Everything is like this abode of the sage. So it says here, to whom all beings are the same. This is the wisdom of equal vision, whereby you don't see one aspect of the world out there as more desirable than another, and you experience it all as consciousness. It's consciousness manifesting itself. It's the same consciousness in you as it is in me, as it is in all objects. He who moves about with his consciousness turned in upon itself views a city or a village as a forest. When the consciousness is turned in on itself, this is when you're aware of your own awareness, or where you've managed to turn your attention back on the attention itself. This is the trick, if you like. Once you can do this, once you can maintain some kind of establishment in this, then you've got this equanimity. You've got the inner tranquility. He who has attained inner tranquility and peace finds peace and tranquility everywhere in the world. He whose mind is agitated and restless finds the world full of restlessness. For what one experiences within, that alone he experiences outside. And we like to say, but what about the suffering? What about all the suffering that's going on? Are you saying that's not real? This is the way the mind works. It wants to keep taking us away from ourselves. It wants to keep creating restlessness and agitation and saying how real this external world is. And I think the fear is that somehow by being established in equanimity, you're going to maintain some kind of callous indifference to what is going on. And that's the assumption that's made, and it's a wrong assumption. The choices are made clear to us. We can retire to contemplation and not engage with the world. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. Or you can engage with the world, you get on with whatever it is you can do. And the most effective way of doing that is surely not to be doing it with a restless and agitated mind, but to be doing it with a tranquil and equanimous mind, because then you can actually operate with some kind of objectivity, and you're not doing it just in order to make yourself feel good. For what one experiences within, that alone he experiences outside. In fact, the sky, the earth, the air and the space, the mountains and the rivers are all parts of the inner instrument, mind. They only appear to be outside. There's nothing outside. It's all happening here. We create stories about outside, about stuff going outside, But whatever's happening is happening right here, just as the past and the future are abstract notions, even though we invest them with very strong emotional effects. But the past is not real, it doesn't exist. The future is a pure hypothesis. And I think a lot of people can appreciate that and then realise the power of now, of being in the now. But there's also the power of here, realising that just as there's no past and no future, there's no out there. And there's no in here either. But it is all happening here. We create distance. We create notions of out there. But how can there be out there? How can I be experiencing things out there in here? How do I get to know about things out there when they're out there? It has to all be happening here. And this is what gets explored quite fully in the next chapter. All these exist like the tree and the seed, and they are externalized like the scent of a flower. Truly, there is nothing either inside or outside. Whatever the consciousness conceives of, in whatever manner appears so. Thus the self alone is all this, within and without. The so-called external world exists right here.